Welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting. My name is Josh Hall. This is the Doghouse Racing League Tuesday Night Truck Series presented by Shoney's here on iRacing, presented by Intensity Broadcasting. Again, my name is Josh Hall. We're getting ready for an exciting race here at Worldwide Technology Raceway, also known as Gateway Raceway, here in St. Louis. Let's take a look at our points coming into tonight. As we pull those up and we get those adjusted in size, here we go. Everything's working a little slow for me today, so I apologize. There we go. Jonathan Jennings up at the top of the leaderboard. Just McMahon sits back in second. Lucas Edwards, Frank Hughes, and Christopher Simon, your top five. Kevin Thompson sits back in that sixth position. Steve Gerber, Dominic Hughes, Adam Gardner, and Mike Leftwich round out your top 10. I'll leave this on the screen so you can see where your favorite driver is in the top 20. We have just a few minutes left here in practice in the Gateway 85. About a minute and a half. We see Jonathan Jennings, no surprise there, up at the top of the leaderboard. Christopher Simon, second fastest. Lucas Edwards, third fastest on the leaderboard currently. And Mike Leftwich and Mark Dumont, your top five fastest. You see Edwards get a little loose there off the corner and catch the inside wall. Back in the ninth position, in the nine, we see Stephen Bonomo. Driver having some issues there off the corner, and you'll see a lot of that here tonight. Gateway or Worldwide Technology Raceway, a very flat racetrack. We'll see some drivers struggling a little bit all night long. We got qualifying starting up about 15 seconds. I apologize, I don't have the chat up just yet, but we're getting that going right now. As practice has come to an end. Let's see who our first drivers are to make their way out onto the racetrack here in qualifying. Looks like Christopher Simon, one of the first drivers out onto the racetrack. There we go. We got the chat up now for you. So let us know who you're rooting on here tonight. We'll get the shout outs going for you. So you can kind of think of Gateway here or Worldwide Technology Raceway as a flat Darlington. We'll throw that track map up on the screen for you. And you can see long straightaways. Turns 1 and 2, much smaller radius. You might even hear these trucks shifting as the tire run goes down. Long time to get back to the gas before you come down this long straightaway back down the backstretch and into turn number 3. keep a little more momentum off of turn number 4. Comes down across straight. And Simons is going to go second quickest currently. Jonathan Jennings currently on the pole with a 34 flat. See what he's able to do here off of turn number 4. And Jennings keeps that 34 flat, his quickest time. Neil Rutt shifting down through turns 3 and 4. Currently 7th fastest. Looks like he's going to be a little bit slower here on his second lap. We see cheers out there for Edwards and Engel already. You see Richard Leclerc just coming off of turn number 4. Come and take his white flag lap here. For some reason, Leclerc's first lap did not record for him. Tells me he could have got up into the wall. Made a little contact with the wall there. That will disallow your time. This time coming off of turn number 4. And Leclerc is going to jump up into the 18th position. Mark Dumont just making his way off of turn number 2. Dumont for the final time coming off of turn number 4. Let's see what he's going to do here on his second lap. That's going to be good enough for the 15th position currently. Jonathan Smith coming off of turn number 4 across the stripe. And Smith stays in the 8th position. So we're seeing the second lap being a little bit slower than the first lap. One driver left to get out onto the racetrack, and that is Chris Leftwich. But with 20 seconds left here in qualifying, I don't see him being able to put down a lap as he is just coming to the green flag. As time expires, Leftwich is not going to be able to get a lap underway here. So let's take a look at our starting grid here tonight. And on pole tonight is the 91 of Jonathan James, with Justin McMahon rolling off from the second position. Then Christopher Simon and Lucas Edwards round out row number 2. Row 3 will find Frank Hughes Jr. and Steve Gerber, followed by Daniel Wilkerson and Jonathan Smith back in the 4th row. Round out your top 10 will be Neil Rutt and Mike Leftwich. Bill Gentry rolls off 11th with Dominic Hughes in the 12th position. 13th will be Zach Lockett with Steve Bonomo back in the 14th position. 15th is Mark Dumont with Gary Clune back in 16th. 17th, Jeffrey Engel and Gary Amio round out row number 9. Your top 20 will be Richard Leclerc and Chris Leftwich. 21st, Leander Johnson with Andrew St. Cyr rolling off 22nd. And that's going to do it for the field here tonight as we get ready to go racing here at Worldwide Technology Raceway in the Gateway 85. Of course, as always, we want to thank our great partners, including Shoney's. The Doghouse Racing League's Tuesday Night Truck Series is proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations and try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar, or take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. Also, we want to remind you that the Doghouse Racing League is fueled by Rogue Energy. Rogue Energy is designed to be the ultimate energy drink. 0 sugar, 0 fillers, 5 calories, packed with essential vitamins. Take hydration to the next level. Visit rogueenergy.com and enter the code Doghouse for 10% in your order. And all commissions earned through this link help support the Doghouse Racing League. And of course, you can find all the links down below in the description. Of course, you can also find the link to the Doghouse Racing League website there. You can find all your stats, standings, and news regarding the Doghouse Racing League. Hunter Foley says the 99 is going all the way in regards to. That is Jonathan Smith, who's rolling off from the 7th position. You see the go-kart track on the infield here at Gateway Speedway. And Jonathan Jennings, your leader, is going to start up on the high side. Pace car takes that hard left-hand turn down onto pit road. And the green flag flies, and we are racing here at Worldwide Technology Speedway. Down into turn 1, Jennings is going to have that advantage. McMahon got to pinch down on the bottom. Cuts up in front of Lucas Edwards. Edwards, though, with a good momentum down the backstretch, see if he can get back to the back bumper of McMahon as he go down into turn 3 for the first time. Now Steve Gerber looking all over the back bumper of the 76 of Edwards. He's going to look up to the high sides. Frank Hughes takes a look down underneath as they come off of turn number 4. Jonathan Jennings is going to lead the first lap here tonight at Gateway. And Gerber was able to slide back in front of Hughes. Keep him currently in the 4th position. Side-by-side racing already in the back. Oh, one truck rear loose up into the outside wall. Caution is out. I believe that might have been Jeffrey. No, that wasn't Jeffrey Engel. That was Gary Clune up into the outside wall. That's going to bring up our first wreckage rewind of the night. There's actually a couple different things here going on. The first one was Leander Johnson looping it around here in the backstretch. Doesn't look like this is what brought out the caution. Actually, it could have been what brought out the caution. The other one was, I believe it was Gary Clune back here getting into, he had a little loose here off the corner. Tries to catch it, comes back up in front of the 114 of Mark Dumont. Right in front of Chris Leftwich, is able to just barely avoid as Clune stayed up against the outside wall. Doesn't look like too much damage to that 11 machine, so he should be able to come down pit road and get that fixed up and continue on. Take a look here at that 11 machine, and looks like yeah, right front is pushed in just a little bit, so maybe a little bit of suspension damage on that 11. You take a look at the trucks around it, take a look at the 35 right behind, and you see just how much better that right front wheel looks than the one on the 11. So you see the attitude of that 11 as well. That right front kind of popped up in the air. That was heavy impact with the outside wall. So see if he's able to continue on, maybe get that fixed up a little bit. Yeah, look at the truck just kind of up in the air like that. That is not what you want to see. We'll have to see where Jonathan Jennings chooses here on this restart, if he chooses the outside lane yet again. You see Jennings up on the high side. Lights are off on the pace car. We're going to go back green flag racing this time. See Gabriel in the YouTube chat says here for Stephen B. Big fan. Talking about Stephen Bonomo, running back in the 11th position. Getting ready for this restart here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. As the field comes off of turn number 4, pace car dives back down on the pit road. And Jennings is going to lead them back down to the Geico restart zone. Green flag's back in the air. Big jump for Jennings this time over Just McMahon as they file down into turn number 1. Christopher Simon under attack now from Frank Hughes. And you see the 76 of Lucas Edwards taking a look down underneath the 8 of Steve Gerber as they come down the backstretch. And Hughes tries to make it 3 wide. He does. Pushing himself up in front of Christopher Simon down into turn number 3. Edwards still down on the bottom. Pulls a little slide job here in front of the 61 of Hughes. See if Hughes able to get the crossover here as they come off turn number 4. He is not. And Edwards able to put the power down and continue moving forward. A little further back, you see Jonathan Smith had a little look to the inside from Neil Rutt, but Rutt had to file back in line. Now Rutt's going to take a hard look underneath that 99. Oh, one around Gerber. Steve Gerber around on the backstretch. Looks like he was able to keep it off the wall. We stay green. Take a look to see what happened to Gerber here. Well, let's see if we can get the 8 of Gerber. And yeah, you see him already off into the grass. Let's rewind this a little bit. It looks like Gerber just lost it all by himself off of turn number 2. Takes a trip down through John Deere country. Oh, he does catch that inside wall just a little bit. Doesn't look like too much damage to that 8 machine as he pushes way up the track trying to catch back up. Meanwhile, Jonathan Jennings continues to lead over Justin McMahon by 0.3 of a second. As they come down the front stretch to complete lap number 8. See Mike Leftwich working all over the back bumper of Neil Rutt, trying to get around that 72 machine. Right behind Dominic Hughes. And we see Jonathan Smith right there all over the back bumper of Hughes. Try to take a look down to the inside of Hughes. Right behind Stephen Bonomo trying to follow the 99 through as well. And for a track that's shaped like Darlington, it races like New Hampshire. Very, very flat corners. You see some shifting here as well. The outside lane can work and prevail. However, as the tires wear down, you'll see drivers migrating down to the inside lane. Neil Rutt, Lucas Edwards, Neil Rutt and Christopher Simon were just battling it out. With Rutt up into the 5th position. A little further back, we see Mark Dumont trying to take a look down underneath Zach Lockett. Chris Leftwich up 8 positions already, driving back through the field, missed qualifying. Now he's doing a good job trying to get back up towards the front. Meanwhile, Mike Leftwich, the other Leftwich, side by side with the 89 of Dominic Hughes. This is a battle for 7th and 8th. Right behind Jonathan Smith trying to follow Hughes through. And now Smith's going to work to the inside of Mike Leftwich down into turn number 1. Bonomo right there in that 9 truck trying to follow Jonathan Smith right on through. He's going to take a look down now underneath the 9 of Mike the 60 of Mike Leftwich down into turn number 3. And here comes Chris Leftwich on the outside, trying to give a shove to Mike here as they come down into turn number 1, off of turn number 2, and Chris Leftwich is going to break all the momentum. Now he's going to dive down to the inside of the 60, try to move himself up into the 9th position. Meanwhile, while all that's been going on, Justin McMahon has been running down Jonathan Jennings. Jennings' lead is now just 0.2 of a second as we see McMahon right there on the gearbox. We're right along with Jonathan Jennings here, and we see battle back here as we see the 89 of Dominic Hughes trying to move forward around Chris Leftwich, but he's got a mirror full of Jonathan Smith at the same time. As Christopher Simon backs that corner up a little bit, that causes Hughes to have to check up, and that allowed Jonathan Smith to almost make a move up on the high side. As Jonathan Smith sees that 13 getting bigger in the mirror. Now Smith taking a look down to the inside. He's got the position down into turn number 3. And Christopher Simon's going to dive down in there as well. He's going to send it in there. Just not close enough to make that work and stick. Looked like he was looking for the crossover for a moment there, but just didn't have the momentum to keep that going and wanted to stay in line to keep from Chris Leftwich diving down underneath that 89 machine. Now Jonathan Smith looking down underneath Christopher Simon. He's just going to follow through as well. Some great battles, and now Christopher Simon working around, Christopher Leftwich working around Christopher Simon. Leftwich up 13 positions, driven all the way up into the 7th position. So watch that 13 truck because he is on a mission. Justin McMahon fell back off of Jennings just a little bit, but fell back to almost a half second. Now he's back to within 0.3 of a second. See, McMahon was quite a bit slower for a few laps. That last time by, though, just a tad quicker. But a lot of racing left. They still have pit stops to make. We know tires are going to be a premium here tonight on this flat racetrack. That time by, it looks like Jennings was a bit faster than McMahon. The field is really starting to get spread out. However, Jennings and McMahon not having to deal with lap traffic yet. Further back, Christopher Simon trying to work all over the back of Dominic Hughes. Trying to move himself back forward, as well as a little battle side by side here between Gary Amio and Mark Dumont. This is a battle for 15th. As Dumont takes a look down to the inside, he's going to take that position away. Also just in front, we see Bill Gentry. Wilkerson gets pushed up the track, almost gets up into the outside wall. He's going to lose another position to Zach Lockett, fall back into 13th. Great save, though, for Wilkerson, who's able to hold on to that and keep that truck off the wall. A big moment for that 78 machine. Now Gentry has Zach Lockett right behind, trying to make something happen here as we are quickly approaching pit stops. I imagine we'll start seeing pit stops within the next 5 to 10 laps. So Lockett's going to take a look down underneath the 34 of Gentry and take over the 11th position. Up front, Jonathan Jennings continues to stretch his legs now. Has almost a 0.3 of a second lead over second place Justin McMahon. These two are the class of the field now, as Frank Hughes, back in the 61, currently 2 seconds behind Justin McMahon. And McMahon's been continuing to pull away. You look at the lap times from McMahon and Hughes, and on lap 23, Hughes was about 0.2 of a second quicker, but every lap after that, McMahon just able to pull away just a little bit each lap. A bit of technical issues on my side. Had some things that weren't popping up for me just yet. Trying to take a look to see where we're going to be next week. And next week we'll be moving on to the short track down to North Wilkesboro Speedway. A little vintage racing next week here on Intensity Broadcasting with the Doghouse Racing League. Short track racing at its finest, so don't forget to tune in for that one. As North Wilkesboro always lends itself for some amazing racing, no matter what kind of vehicles are on the track. Of course, don't forget to join us after this one's over as the SCSRA Truck Series will be taking on Auto Club Speedway as the second race of our truck doubleheader here tonight on Intensity Broadcasting. Well, we've got a little break in the action. We want to thank our great partners here, including Shoney's for sponsoring the Truck Series. The Shoney's Tuesday Night Truck Series is proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Been open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations, try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar, and take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. Of course, the Doghouse Racing League is also fueled by Rogue Energy. Visit rogueenergy.com, use the coupon code DOGHOUSE for 10% off your order. Rogue Energy is designed to be the ultimate energy drink. 0 sugar, 0 filters, 5 calories, packed with essential vitamins. Take hydration to the next level. All commissions earned through the link help support the Doghouse Racing League. Of course, we've got some great partners over here at Intensity as well. You can check out our website over at intensityracing.com for hats, t-shirts, coffee mugs. Check out Atlee Hatman-Weiss's racing gear as well. Named Rookie of the Year in his division down at Langley Speedway. So congrats to Atlee Hatman-Weiss for that. Good to see his racing career blooming down at Langley Speedway in that Pro 6 late models. Also check out Race EPI for all your iRacing coaching and setup needs. And of course, don't forget about our great partner over at Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is an established and well-known leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading console and PC gamers, including professional sim racers. Check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out what's right for you by visiting thebuttkicker.com. Not just do they have the gaming haptics there, you can also find out which movie theaters in your area use butt kickers to give you that little bit of immersion as well. So we got our first drivers down on pit road. Looks like Mike Leftwich, the first truck to hit pit road here on lap number 33. Imagine we're going to start seeing everybody else making their way down on the pit road as well. We're going to take a look at the chat here. We see Brittany over on the YouTube set says here for the Hughes boys. Kevin Powell says be back once his wheelbase gets fixed. Oh, that's never a fun thing. And then Kevin Powell says here's for Jennings and ESR. Wish I was on the track. Should be within a week or two. And you know, anytime you have a mechanical issue, it's no fun. I mean, we're sim racers. Justin McMahon makes his way down on the pit road. He is the first of the leaders to come down on the pit road. You see Steve Gerber making his way off of pit road at the same time. Gerber having that spin earlier in the race. But when you have an issue with your computer, your wheel, or pedals, or anything like that, it's just like in real life having an issue with the car. So good luck, Kevin. Hopefully you get that sorted out real quick. If you're looking for a good wheelbase, I don't know if you saw the deal that Fanatec's having with a direct drive wheel for $200 when you buy a wheel base, or a wheel rim and pedals. So now more drivers on pit road. We see Frank Hughes Jr., Jonathan Smith, Neil Rutt, Daniel Wilkerson coming down on the pit road, Dominic Hughes, Bill Gentry. Jonathan Jennings breezes on by. Oh, broke the USB port off the back of the circuit board on the DD. Man, that's tough. Here comes Jennings coming down on the pit road. You see these drivers having to take this access road off of going into turn number 3. They can push it all the way to these cones right there. You see those 2 yellow cones. It's going to give the lead over to Chris Leftwich, and it looks like Leftwich might have a little bit of damage to the right side of that truck. Looks like he might have been up into the wall. Lucas Edwards also on pit road. Another driver looks like he's been up into the wall just a little bit. Steve Bonomo, Zach Lockett on pit road, Mark Dumont coming down, Gary Amio. Chris Leftwich still out there pushing the laps as we see the 72 go around. That's Neil Rutt getting his lap back, and here comes Leftwich down on the pit road now. Sending it hard down there on that flat access road. That's going to give the lead of the race to the 27 of Christopher Simon. Jeffrey Engel on pit road as well. Only drivers left to make their way on the pit road. Here comes Christopher Simon, Richard Leclerc, and Leander Johnson all need to come down pit road. But look who's going to take over the lead when pit stops cycle around. That is Justin McMahon, who is currently almost 2 seconds ahead of Jonathan Jennings. And we'll take a look here. Let's see if we can see what the difference was here on these pit stops. See McMahon there with a 15.3 pit stop. Jonathan Jennings had a 14.77. Jennings was also on pit road for less time than McMahon. But somehow McMahon pitting just a little bit earlier, about 3 laps earlier. That's been the difference in putting McMahon up in front. Again, by just over 2 seconds. See Richard Leclerc staying out on the racetrack still, trying to lead some laps here. See Lucas Edwards trying to look down underneath Dominic Hughes. A little past halfway now, and here comes Edwards. Was another dive down underneath Hughes. He was able to shut the door, keep that 76 machine behind. And Richard Leclerc is staying out. We're going to go around the 14 of Jeffrey Engel, but see the 114 of Mark Dumont coming to get a lap back here. You see that 117 just not able to keep that truck down on the bottom of the track. I imagine he should be coming down pit road momentarily. Looks like he's going to stay out at least one more lap. Justin McMahon and Jonathan Jennings are quickly eating into that lead. Last time by, McMahon ran a 35.3 and Leclerc ran a 36.4. You see McMahon coming into the picture as it looks like Leclerc is going to come to pit road this time. No, he's going to stay out another lap as McMahon goes right on by. Here comes Jennings by as well. Jennings is eating up into McMahon's lead here, so those 3-lap newer tires really making a difference for Jennings right now, as he has cut down the lead from just over 2 seconds to just 0.8 of a second here, as we have 25 laps to go. I have no doubt that Jennings is going to catch McMahon here. The thing is, it's one thing to catch somebody, it's another thing to get around them. As now Leclerc makes his way down on the pit road. And that will finish green flag pit stops. far only had the one caution for cause. That came on lap 3 as Gary Clune got up into the outside wall. And he had to retire that truck right after that as he had a heavy, heavy right front damage. And Jennings is caught. McMahon, 0.3 of a second now separate our leaders. They come up on the lap truck from Gary Armia. Jennings trying to take a look down to the inside there. Just not close enough to make that happen. It's such a long wait to get back to the throttle there, especially through turns 3 and 4. Drivers kind of migrate up to the high side and then try to drive it down off the corner, much like you would do at Darlington or even Bristol. Look at the run that Jennings gets coming off of turn number 4. So he's trying to get back to the back bumper of Justin McMahon, and without a doubt he should be able to get to that back bumper, but as I said before, it's one thing to catch a driver, it's another thing to get around him. And we know Justin McMahon's going to try to make that truck as wide as possible. Just 19 laps to go here. Take you through the field. Justin McMahon leads over Jonathan Jennings. Then back in the 3rd position. Find the 61 of Frank Hughes. He's having a solid run here tonight. Up 2 spots from where he started, up into the top 3. Find Neil Rutt back in the 72. He's currently up 5 positions. Trying to move himself up one more, trying to run down Hughes. Last time by, he was about the same speed as Frank. Jonathan Smith in the 99, currently back in the 5th position. Chris Leftwich up 14 positions, currently up into 6th. Continuing to try to march himself forward. Christopher Simon is falling back 4 spots from where he started, but still runs a solid 7th. With Dominic Hughes back in the 8th position. Dominic, another driver, up 4 positions from where he started. Having a solid run here tonight, up in 8th. Lucas Edwards, though, losing 5 spots from where he started. You see that damage to the right side of that truck. Was up into the outside wall at some point. And how about this? Steve Gerber currently running in the 10th position, and that's after Gerber had a spin. No caution came out. He's been able to drive himself back up into the top 10. That's an impressive run for the driver of the 8 machine, as Justin McMahon now has the battle on his hands as Jonathan Jennings has closed in on that 24 machine. He is right there on the back bumper. And when we cross the start-finish line, this time we'll have just 15 laps to go. You see, let's go 27. We love you, Christopher Simon. Simon again runs back in the 7th position. And he's having a solid run, and he's actually gaining on Chris Leftwich a little bit here. So Simon could gain at least one more position before the race is over here tonight. Jennings takes a look down to the inside. McMahon shuts the door. It's going to force Jennings to take a look up to the high side this time. Jennings not able to get the run he needs. Now he's going to get a bit of a draft down into turn number 1, and Jennings to the inside, taking a look at the lead. McMahon up on the high side, battling for all he can right now with 14 laps to go. They're side by side down into turn number 3. Drivers pretty even as they come off of turn number 4, but Jennings looks like he's going to get the pull here. But here comes McMahon back firing hard on the high side, using that outside momentum to stay side by side with Jonathan Jennings as they go down into turn number 1. Both drivers sliding the tires a little bit, trying to get down into the corner, get that truck rotated using the shifting. McMahon pinches Jennings down there, keeps that 91 at bay as they go down into turn number 3 yet again, side by side, door to door for the lead. Coming to 12 laps to go. Jennings still not able to get clear of Justin McMahon. McMahon is really trying to drive it hard there up on that high side. This time, though, Jennings looks like he's going to be able to pull the slide job. No, McMahon stays up at the quarter panel as they go down towards turn number 3. McMahon is giving it everything he's got up on that high side, but Jennings able to sneak on by and retake the lead here with 11 laps to go. But now McMahon's going to take a dive down to the inside. He's going to try to work the bottom here. See if he can do the same thing. Off of turn number 2. They continue to run side by side. McMahon's going to tuck back in line as they got some lap traffic battling side by side ahead. Trying to see who the side-by-side was that was just in front of our leaders. Looks like they've figured that one out just a little bit, but that is the 34 of Bill Gentry. He was battling side-by-side with Jeffrey Engel just a few moments ago. We are coming to 9 laps to go here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Ooh, see the 34 got loose there. Almost got up into the wall in front of our leaders. That was a moment there for our leaders. Now a truck separates McMahon and Jennings. That 34 is doing the gentlemanly thing, staying up out of the way. Trying to let the leaders battle it out as we have 8 laps to go. Now this is the best battle out on the racetrack is for the lead. Everybody else kind of spreading out right now as we come down to the wire. Leaders are approaching more lap traffic. They've got Jeffrey Engel and Steven Bonomo right out in front of them. No one else moves down out of the way. Jennings use that high side to get around. And as they come across the line next time, we'll have just 5 laps to go. Ooh, Justin McMahon. There's some issues there with the lap traffic. Lost a ton of time to Jonathan Jennings. As Bonomo and Jeffrey Engel battle side by side. That's a battle for 14th and 15th. McMahon is starting to push hard now. Last time by a little bit quicker than Jennings, trying to run that 91 back down. Does McMahon have anything for the 91 machine? As we have just 4 laps to go. Oh, McMahon gets up into the outside wall, trying to run down the 91. That is going to kill his momentum as they go down into turn number 3. Down into turn number 3, Jonathan Jennings. Coming to just 2 laps to go. I say we've got a good battle for 9th heating up as we see Steve Gerber running down Lucas Edwards. Ooh, Gerber gets loose off the corner. Able to hold on to it. Got a little battle between the Chris's here as Chris Simon starting to run down Christopher Leftwich. It's going to be a battle for 6th place. We are coming to the white flag here. One more lap for Jonathan Jennings, making his way down into turn number 1. And McMahon with that heavy damage to the outside, or after hitting the outside wall. He's going to all but do it here as Jennings makes his way down towards turn number 3. Off of turn number 4 for the final time. Jonathan Jennings is going to get the win here tonight at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Justin McMahon's going to bring it home P2. Frank Hughes back in P3. Neil Rutt P4. And Jonathan Smith brings it home with a top 5 finish. Jonathan Jennings getting the win here tonight. So he makes his way onto the front stretch to celebrate his 5th win of the season. See Chris Leftwich coming up, give him a little celebratory tap right there. And that's right, that is Jennings' 5th win of the season. We've seen Jennings try to burnout all the way around the racetrack. We'll see if he continues that tradition again here tonight. Nope, that's going to do it for his celebration there. Let's take a look at the final results here tonight. Again, Jonathan Jennings getting the win. Justin McMahon in second. Frank Hughes in third. Neil Rutt and Jonathan Smith round out your top 5. Chris Leftwich, after starting way back in the field, up 14th positions, up into the 6th position. Christopher Simon, Dominic Hughes, Lucas Edwards, and Steve Gerber, after spinning out, catching the inside wall, drives back to a top 10 finish. Mike Leftwich brings it home in 11th. Zach Lockett back in 12th. Mark Dumont, Stephen Bonomo, and Jeffrey Engel, your top 15. Bill Gentry down in the 16th position. 17th was Gary Amio and Leander Johnson in 18th. Richard Leclerc brings it home in 19th. Daniel Wilkerson back in 20th. 21st, Gary Clune, who was 65 laps down. And Andrew St. Cyr rounding out the field here tonight at Gateway. As we get ready to talk to our top 3. Starting with our third place finisher, Frank Hughes. Frank, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir. I got you, Josh.
Man, great run for you here tonight. Kind of a rough night for a couple drivers here tonight, and it seemed like the lack of cautions really spread out the field and didn't really allow for anybody to catch each other. Talk about your race, though. Was there a little bit of strategy involved there that could have changed things and got yourself back up towards the front?
Maybe if I pitted a lap or two before Jonathan and Justin, but those two were the class of the field tonight. It just came down to pit strategy, who had the right call.
Yeah, we've seen the strategy really pin out there, and it seemed like tires were a big part of that here tonight as well. The tire fall-off seemed to be pretty huge. How did, were you trying to manage tires at one point there, especially towards the end there, trying to hold on to a good top 3 finish?
I was actually backing up the run in the beginning to hope and pray I still had tire left at the end to catch Jonathan and Justin, but just didn't work out. All in all, good points day. That's all I was really looking forward to tonight.
For sure, and being a good points night, finishing on the podium, coming home third. A great run for you here tonight, Frank. Before we let you go, though, anyone want to thank? Any shots you got to give here tonight?
I like to thank my teammates that ran with us tonight. Neil Rutt and my son Dominic. My other teammate Justin, he couldn't make it. I also want to thank the sponsors, Hughes' Garage in North Carolina and Hughes' Garage in Pennsylvania.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the podium finish here tonight, and good luck next week as we go to the short track down in North Wilkesboro. Thank
you. Gonna need the luck there.
It seems like that's going to be the issue for a few people, but again, congratulations, and we look forward to talking to you again soon.
Alrighty, thank you. You did a great job tonight too, broadcasting this. I forgot to mention you also. Thank you.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. Have a great night.
You too.
That was your third place finisher, Frank Hughes. Let's bring in your second place finisher, Justin McMahon. And Justin, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Josh.
Man, I thought you might have had a chance on holding off Jennings there at the end. Came in a little earlier than him, took tires, got yourself out in front, but he was able to run you down. And I saw you were starting to catch him a little bit, caught that outside wall there at the end. Talk about your race, though, and anything you might have been able to do a little bit different to keep him behind you there at the end?
Yeah, I don't know. It was a pretty good. I thought I had a pretty decent pit strategy there. I kind of leapfrogged him. I wanted to try to cut it as close as I could to when he was going to pit. I was kind of guessing when I was thinking he was going to pit. I thought that was really going to be the only way I was going to be able to potentially leapfrog him if I had a good pit stop. I don't know. He's just really good at saving his tires, and I thought I was doing that in the second run a little bit there. But once he ran me down, and him and I had that little battle there for the lead, I kind of burned my stuff up, and I was hoping our tires were going to balance out with his 3-lap newer tires, but unfortunately it didn't really work out for me too well. But all in all, it was a really good battle, fun race. with one caution. I was actually kind of surprised about that. I think a lot of us were. But no, we had a good battle on the track. I don't think I would have changed anything other than, maybe racing them a little bit tighter to the bottom on 3 and 4. And even in 1 and 2, I think if I tried to pinch them a little bit, it might have been better because you couldn't get a whole lot of drive off corner exit if you're stuck on the bottom there. So maybe I would do something different there. But, I mean, what are you going to do? He's hard to beat, so.
Yeah, anytime you put him on a flat track such as Gateway or New Hampshire, it seems like he's just got that hooked up. And I know this track kind of races a lot like New Hampshire in a way. Did that kind of play into your favor? Because I know that's kind of like a home track to you.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I like flat tracks too, but I think 3 and 4 is really the only corner that really has any similarities to New Hampshire. I mean, I think it's got a little bit more banking than New Hampshire, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not 100% sure on that. You could probably clarify that, but I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of braking, and if you miss your braking point in your turn-in, I mean, it's going to cause issues. I mean, I think you saw it there a couple times. I mean, you miss it just by a little bit, and the car slides up, pushes way up the hill. So you really had to be on point with everything. There was no room for error, and he was pretty error-free tonight, I think. So that's what cost us, but maybe we'll get him next week.
Well, next week we move over to the short track down in North Wilkesboro. How do you like your chances there?
Pretty decent, I think. Him and I have had a pretty good battle there in the past in late models. So, and I think we even had a truck race there, I think, a few seasons ago, if I'm not mistaken. We seem to race pretty well there, so hopefully I can hold him off and take home the win.
And to clarify what you're talking about before, turns 3 and 4 are banked at 9 degrees. Turn 1's 11 here at Gateway, and New Hampshire is 2 to 7 degrees. So yeah, pretty close as far as 2 to 11 degrees, I should say. So,
yeah,
pretty close with the banking. So
yeah.
But before I let you go, Justin, anyone you want to thank? Any shots you got to give here tonight?
Oh yeah, my wife for letting me do this every week, and Group 6 for the sponsor on the truck, and Daniel for putting on the league. Wouldn't be able to do it without him. For him to be able to put this league on, and especially for free for guys, people should really be thankful that we're able to come out here and race competitively with these guys every week without having to pay anything. I know a lot of leagues do charge that are a lot worse than this. Not to hate on anybody's league, but great racing here, and like I said, just thanks to him for allowing us to do it here for free and all he does. So yeah, and you guys for doing the broadcast. You guys always do a great job.
I appreciate that. Well, again, congrats on the runner-up finish. I think that's your sixth runner-up finish behind Jonathan this season. So
yeah, don't remind me.
I'm sure you'll get him one of these races.
I hope so.
You got a full season left here. You still got we're only in race number what is this, race number 9? No, race number 8 of 16. So you're only halfway through the season.
Well, plenty of time then.
Plenty of time. Have yourself a good one.
Thanks, Josh. Appreciate it.
So as your second place favorite, Justin McMahon. Let's bring in Jonathan Jennings. Jonathan, you got Josh up to booth. You got me?
Sorry, I got you.
Man, what a run for you here again. Getting your 5th win of the season. And just in dominating fashion. Although it looked like McMahon might have had something for you there. Kind of undercut you on the pit strategy. Did that kind of concern you at all? Because I know he was way out in front of you for a little while. Were you able to run him back down?
Oh, yeah. As hard as it is to pass, and he's a really good driver, and I knew it was going to be hard to get by him because they don't make many mistakes.
Yeah, too. You had a nice side-by-side battle there for about 3 or 4 laps. Another thing that concerned you on tires? Because I know the tire wear was extremely high here tonight. Run side-by-side like that hurts the tires quite a bit. Did you have any concerns about wearing out those tires and him getting you back because of it?
Yeah, shortly after I did, because I noticed third place caught up quite a bit, and after that, I was able to start hitting my line and was able to pull away from third place. I couldn't really get away from Justin. That strategy he did, he almost made it work.
I thought he might have had a chance there towards the end. And I know you like the flat tracks. Next week we move to another short track over at North Wilkesboro. How do you like your chances down at the little short track down there?
I like North Wilkesboro as long as I qualify good and stay out of trouble. Probably going to look a lot like tonight if all goes well. Racing was good there last time, so I expect the same.
I know that's the important thing at Wilkesboro is staying out of trouble, because it seems like trouble can quickly find you at that track. But again, congratulations on win number 5 on the season, Jonathan. Before we let you go, though, anyone want to thank? Any shots you got to give here tonight?
You guys for the broadcast, Daniel and all the admins for putting these races on, and Justin for the clean racing. That was a lot of fun, regardless of where I finished. But and the sponsors, Shoney's and Rogue Energy.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the win, and good luck next week at North Wilkesboro.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
You too.
There's your winner, Jonathan Jennings, getting win number 5 here of the season in the Doghouse Racing League's Tuesday Night Truck Series presented by Shoney's. That's going to do it for us here tonight on Intensity Broadcasting. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell so you know when we go live anytime here on Intensity Broadcasting. We got our second race of our truck doubleheader tuning up in about a half hour as the SCSRA Truck Series takes on Auto Club Speedway. You're not going to want to miss that one either. So join us back here in a little bit for that. And as our boy Atlee Hatman Weiss would say, actually, we got to say once again, thank you to everybody for watching here on Intensity Broadcasting with the Doghouse Racing League on iRacing. Don't forget to check out the great partners as well, including Rogue Energy, Shoney's, the Doghouse Racing League's website over at doghouseracingle.com. Check out our partners over at raceapi.com, intensitybroadcasting.com, as well as the Butt Kicker. And as our boy Atlee Hatman Weiss would say, over